You are now being tuned in to the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We are rocking it through the cosmos and even out to the observable universe. Yes, you're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Yes, you're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show here on this Sunday night vibes. Yes. We're the only talk radio that rocks it from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, you haven't sent me a postcard yet about the motherships. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow and subscribe and like us on our other social media platforms. You be sure to follow me at my TikTok and YouTube channel, both titled The Coolly Cool Show. You can follow me on my Twitter channel at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me at my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. And if you miss any episodes, you want to catch out our other past episodes, follow us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.com. Yes, we're going to be starting here in just a couple of seconds. Get things set up here for the Sunday night vibes. Gonna try to mellow you out to get ready for the work week coming up. You are now tuned in to the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We're the only talk radio that rocks it through the cosmos. And yes, all the way out to the observable universe. Now, without further ado, the man that exhilarates nothing but absolute coolness, your host, Brand. Yes, live here on the Tools to the Cool. I got a vision. So, you are listening here on the coolest of the cool, the Cooley Cool Show.
There is no shame in wanting something. This whole world is based on wanting something. You've got to discover your gift, and when you discover it, you got to soak it. You got to wring it out, man. You got to diversify it. Most of us only have one talent. But do you know that that's all you need? If you take that background that you're from and never let it define you, but allow it to redefine you, all that stuff works for the good. Do you understand that you needed everything that's happened to you to happen to you in the exact order that has happened in order for you to be the person that you are today?
Yes, you're listening here live with the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show with your host, Brent, kicking it here on this Sunday night. Sunday Night Vibes. We got a lot of stuff that we've talked about this past week. Pretty much Sunday Night Vibes is just a recap of what the topics of discussion that we have. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every one of all my listeners, all 2 of you, for tuning in to our amazing talk radio podcast. And if you're new to this podcast, just like to thank you. Be sure to follow, like, subscribe us. Sunday Night Vibes is a little bit different. Usually we like to, like I said, recapping a lot of the stuff that we talked about this past week. For the most part, we had a lot of interesting discussions and topics we talked about and touched on. Ruffled little feathers, made people think a little different. But overall, open your mind, get you thinking a little bit, because trust me, there's a lot of deception going on out there, and if you don't recognize it, it will be difficult to not basically reverse from everything that's being processed to us as far as all the technology and things of that nature. Yesterday I talked about alien motherships and their small little probes. I touched about it a little bit yesterday because I read an article that came out the 9th of March, I believe so. And it talked about the Pentagon had released a statement saying that they think that a alien mothership is somewhere in our solar system, just floating the hell around, possibly. They didn't say it was true. They just said it's a possibility. But that's what they said. That's what the article said. And they got people talking about it on social media. Many people were up in arms. I mean, you check the UFO community, the alien community, and things of that nature. Tons of people were talking about this because they couldn't believe that the United States government, Pentagon, would just rightfully just come out of nowhere and say, alien motherships are possibly in our solar system and just dropping off small probes, You know, like they're dropping their kids off at daycare and letting them roam around in time, you know, when the end of the day for them to come pick the little children's up from the daycare. So basically, that's something what the aliens mothership's doing, dropping little children's off at you know on the planets, letting them go to daycare and play and do all kinds of things to people, show themselves in sightings, and then picking them up back and taking back to the mothership. Yeah. And I talked a bunch about it. It's like, why would the government actually go ahead and just say this shit outright? Like, just go and talk about it. And many people are sitting there believe, oh my God, we're having alien invasion. It's finally going down. They're telling us the truth. All these ETs and the alien abductions and shit like that. Come on. Have a little bit of more common sense. I mean, for instance, think about this. You really think our government is, or any government at that, is going to tell us the truth about any type of alien invasions or aliens in this world? No, they're not. Okay? It's all a farce. It's all wolf tickets. It's a pipe dream. Okay? They're not going to tell you this. Why? Because guess what? One, we want one up on our adversaries. Two, it doesn't serve in the best interest of national security. Trust me. Because people don't know how to act. Alright? So, trust me, you think, for instance, a lot of stuff that we've seen back in the past where people just can't control themselves. Imagine this being on a world scale, an event. Trust me. No. Now, what people may say, well, what's all these sightings of spaceships and crafts in the air? It has to be true. Amazing lights. Like I said before in my previous podcast, and I always refer to my previous podcast because if you didn't understand it, because I don't really touch much back on it, because I've already talked, extensively about it in my other podcasts. And what I've talked about, I said, for instance, people talk about there's so many lights and then they disappear and they all go away in a magical formation. And I said this easy. I said, yeah. It's kind of funny that, alien spaceships need bright, white, blinding ass spotlights to navigate through Earth's terrain. They just need, bright spotlights to see and to give away their position to the mass of hundreds of people in a location of area. So that way people can say, oh, I saw a spaceship, I saw, an alien craft or a UFO. Just if they're such an advanced technology, these alien species, why in the hell would these advanced species use bright spotlights to see and navigate in Earth's terrain? You know what I'm saying? Don't make sense. Why? You know what? And by frankly, all these spotlights are all circular at pattern, right? Just shining down. Yeah. Open your mind, folks. Open your mind. And another thing that I always touch on as far as with these spaceships and spacecrafts, and that people say, well, we've got evidence of people watching and video recording this stuff, and it's been recorded that we've seen these UFOs. Okay, but what's all these UFO sightings all got in common? Look at it again. Look at it again. We live in the era of 2023 now. We have high quality resolution on our cameras or cell phone cameras parts, but it seems that every time we try to get a clear picture of what this unidentified flying object is or unknown phenomenon, something like a phenomenon, it apparently is let's say we can't get the clarity on it, the resolution isn't top quality. And this is every single video sighting of a UFO, okay? There is no clear indication picture of, hey, bam, that's a UFO. That's something that made us world. No, it's always, we get a picture, we see something, but we really can't make out it that much crystal clear because, one, hey, we can't really zoom in because it's going super duper fast and it just happens to slip out of our grasp. Fuck are you talking about? Wake the freak up, people. It's a farce, okay? It's the land of make-believe. But, and let's just go ahead along this like I've always said. For instance, we talk about people have said, with interviews, the aliens came down in the middle of the night and they took me to the space to the mothership and they did some experimentations on me. And laid me on a flight slide. They looked at me and it was like three of them. They was all like 3 foot tall. And it's always like that. I'm not trying to harp on people, but apparently these aliens have extensive medical backgrounds. They're MDs, they're doctors, they know a ton about human anatomy. I mean, and I just, obviously they're taking them up there, and then they do an abduction. And as I said in one of my previous podcasts, one of the abductees had said that the alien told them to shut the hell up. Well, I added the hell up, but they told the person, shut up. Yeah. Told them to shut up. Just going to touch on that a little bit, but, you can go ahead and say, well, how do you know? Blah, blah, blah. These people could be telling the truth. Well, you know what? I'm not disputing their story. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. But I'm going to tell you the lines of logic and a little bit of reason. A lot of people tend to have very vivid imaginations. And when they have very vivid imaginations, obviously people start to tend to think they see things that are not real. Okay? They see things that are not as they are. So, and I give an example because I love to give good examples to people. So, for instance, many years ago, when I was in the service, we were doing a training up, and I was up for I think it was 2-3 days, and with the exhaustion of, we were doing an amphibious assault, and we were doing, we were hiking so many miles. The physical exhaustion had plus being staying up, and I remember I had to stay on post, and I was with my other Marine, and we're on post on watch this late at night. And trust me, my buddy, he's standing up sleeping because he's so tired. I'm trying to keep my eyes woke because I'm on post, and your mind will go into a place where you are going to have a time where you might have a difficulty separating from what is reality and what is built up ideas and fantasies of your imagination. Because simply your mind's not going to be able to tell the difference because you're going to be so physically exhausted. So, I'm standing post. And as I'm standing post, I'm dead exhausted, tired, haven't been to sleep. Like I said, I was up for about 2-3 days straight. And, physically drained. And literally, I could have sworn right in the big ass fucking bush, right next to me where we're standing post, I could have sworn it was the Jolly fucking Green Giant. I'm not bullshitting you, okay? That's how exhausted, tired I was. And I was like, fucking Jolly Green Giant. I was like, the fuck, man? I wasn't even flipping out. I was just like the fucking Jolly Green Giant. My mind had gone because I was so tired. I was so exhausted. And when you don't get rest, your mind tends to go to certain places, certain areas. And you can't fault it from happening. It's because your mind is tired because your mind needs the rest. And the reason why sometimes people might end up seeing stuff that just looks outrageous or something crazy or something that's like, whoa, what the hell? It's because when you go to sleep, that's the time for your mind to wander off into dream world, into the land of make-believe, into the land of just desolate and relaxation, to give your mind a chance to calm down, to re-energize your body. And if you stay up too damn long, you're just gonna go fucking insane. Just honestly, because your mind's not gonna be able to tell the difference. Because your eyes are gonna start playing tricks on you. It happens. It does. Alright? So sometimes when people talk about these abductions and people say, oh, well, there's so many people around the world that's had the same similar things, seeing certain things. Yeah, once you hear people say it over and over and over and over, yeah, it doesn't matter where it's at, from different different countries. Of course, it's going to be like, oh, well, I think I saw it too. Because guess what? You want to be part of the cool club. Because you don't want to say, well, the alien I saw was just like you. They'd be like, what do you mean? Just like you. They're like, well, that could be true. But then somebody says, oh, no, he's a big head. He's always bald. It's kind of funny that these aliens, like short, bald heads, big eyes. And one would think, be like, okay, if these aliens are like this, why isn't anybody like knocking these motherfuckers over? Straight front kick. Booyah! You know? What? I mean, just why isn't anybody doing this? It seems as everybody just cooperates with the aliens like there's some authority figure and they just go along with the program. You know? And then people come back down and they talk about, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's this and that. And what I've also touched on is that these people that always tend to have all these alien sightings, aliens encounters, been up to the mothership, and then come back down after the abduction, they talk about extensively all this, and these are people that are, you know, highly educated, prominent citizens of society, scholars, well respected in the community. I talk about this all the time. These people are, you know, and people always listen to them. And these people that talk, they go on radio shows, podcasts, TVs, you know, they get book signings, book deals, making money off their interviews and book deals, you know, all the time. Because these are the scholars. And guess what? They're painting a picture of credibility because these individuals are prominent people of society. The scholars. The people that they can't be lying to you. I tell you this all the time. But, you know, you ask, you know, Jim Bob and Leroy or Shanae on the corner, then it's going to be like, they say the same shit. You can be like, all right, they've obviously been drinking, or they obviously are on something. And you'll dismiss it because you won't find them credible. And aliens are biased. They only want the cream of the crop. They don't want anything less. They want the smarts of the smarts. They don't want to deal with people that they find as less unintelligent. Which is, like I said, aliens. If that's true, aliens are biased as fuck. Aliens just have, you know, if you run into one, you say, oh yeah, you biased motherfucker. What's up? You want to be all picking them motherfuckers over there that's smart shit, but you won't come down here into the real hood. Like, I'm serious. There's a difference. There's a real difference. You have to be able to look at things from a common sense perspective. Okay? Because it's the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay? It's hard. If you listen to it, I'm telling you, you might pass the class, okay? You might pass the class. I'm not going to curve the bell. You're going to have to freaking do this. Guess what? It's fill in the fucking blank, all right? There is no fucking bubble in the fucking answer, all right? Fuck that, all right? So, literally, you have to be able to try to chime in on this and be able to focus and separate the bullshit from what is real. All right? They will tell you certain things, but the entirety of it is not true because there's always a hidden agenda to all this shit. I mean, I've also read an article the other day, and it talked about that, and it's what I've always said about these asteroids and shit all the time. Apparently these fucking asteroids, I swear to fucking goodness, man. Apparently now they're saying that there's an impending possible asteroid that might come collide with Earth in the year 2046. They shortened the time frame from 2160 to 2170, said somewhere in between there. Then they shortened it down to like a few hundred years, and then now they shut it down and says, it's right around the corner, the 2146. That's when it's going to come down. So this is where we're at, because they want to promote fear and want to promote people being, oh shit, we got to do something about this. I said beforehand about the one where they said it's supposed to be 2160 to 2170, that apparently one space program wanted to send some rockets up there now because they feel it's going to divert that asteroid from colliding with Earth. So send the rockets now, because it's going to prevent it in that time from 2160 to 2170 because of the distance in the years. So, but they needed money in order to do it. So they need money now in order to send these rockets up. Yeah. See where I'm getting at? Do you see where I'm getting at with this shit? Okay? It's just getting absurd. But you'll sit there and just go ahead and believe this. You'll have tons of people, millionaires, and the smarts of smarts will go ahead and dedicate money allocated to these certain programs, and they not get the hit from any of this. They're not getting the hint from any of this shit. People say, what are you talking about? There is alien life form. There is ETs. They're walking among us. Okay, cool. Who are they? I mean, I rather believe the fact that, okay, maybe if aliens are among us, and if they are truly among us, then I would suggest and I would say that aliens look exactly identical as the regular human species. The only thing that separates the difference of them, that their molecular structure is different somehow. And these individuals stay out from they stay hidden and not detected. And with that being said, if they're not being detected, that means because they're probably being connected to a lot of the stuff going on. So it's not going to be a quick change like they're, super duper power. No, they're like you and I, but in the same sense, they're just probably, their structure, molecular stuff is built up a little bit different. All right? Just a little bit different. Not much, but just a little bit different. Consider this. Think about how many species of creatures, let alone, are here on this earth. So to suggest that maybe the human species isn't exactly identical as in what we think as being together as the human species is made, maybe there might have a little separation as far as structure, but it's to the point where it's not really noticeable. I mean, for instance, think about this. For instance, back in the day, how they have baby formula. They really had baby formula back in the day. It was pretty much the baby would have to get the milk from the mother. The mother would breastfeed. But now, many mothers, tend to opt out because they find it a lot better for them, especially they're not sure how much the child is getting as from breast milk. They utilize the formula, which is different things that are in it. And it's good and helps the child grow and get stronger, but like I said, it's slowly changing. You're not seeing from natural to stuff that's being manufactured. I'm just saying. But in my opinion, I'm still not in the realm of aliens. I believe there's a lot of pipe dream. There's a lot of shit that just is out there, just completely crazy. And I touched a little bit about galaxies. That there's billions and trillions and zillions of galaxies out there, right? It's just, and as far as we can see from the observable universe, right? But we can't see the apparent so-called unidentified flying objects that's being captured on film. And we're like, oh yeah, we can't capture that, sorry. But we can see what them cosmos look like out there, them galaxies, and we know what our Milky Way galaxy looks like. It's a spiral looking thing. Yeah, we're very, very certain on that. And we leave it up says, no, it's a fact. There's no room for discussion. Fuck you and your fucking bullshit fact. I believe what the hell I want to believe. So don't sit there trying to tell me it's a fact that you know what these galaxies they look like and that they so-called have possible life on these galaxies way out in the observable universe, but your ass has never fucking been there. One time I heard one guy say, he's like, yeah, they're going to lie to you about some shit that you can't go to, that you can't verify. And you know what? It's the fucking truth. It's the honest truth. They'll lie to you about some shit that you can't go to and that you're never going to go to, and that it's a futile effort to try to argue because they'll be like, well, I'm a scientist, I'm a scholar. I've made this shit up to the best of my ability to where you can't challenge it because you will not challenge it because we base it on mathematics, physics, and calculations. So you're basing calculations on some shit that you've never been there, but you're going to suggest because you're using mathematics equations to, because you're looking at something far out into the cosmos, but you're going to suggest that by looking out there, you can determine by certain molecules, so to speak, that you can't go out there into a vacuum, into space. But you're going to get, well, based on the radiation and the cosmic. So you can take readings from radiations from here all the way to the other side of the observable universe to suggest that this planet has this type of gas and yada yada X, Y, and Z. But you've never been there. And I'm pretty sure in some aspects of science, it has to be observable and testable to be considered fact. But we'll sit there and believe this because this person will try to come up with the whole entirety of facts behind their nonsense, their creativity. But they've never been there. Remember, bullshit runs rampant. Alright? People will fucking sell you on certain shit in order to fuel certain agendas. Like, look at it from a very common sense perspective that exactly what I just told you. And I'm not jabbing you and not bullshitting you. It's 100% fact on what I'm telling you, on spotting bullshit from those who can say it's 100% truth, it's fact, you can't question it. But what I'm telling you, what I just told you, is actually more truer than the nonsense that they'll make, because they'll just come up with so much evidence, some calculations to just get everybody swayed in to influence you. It's like they'll bombard you with so much shit that you just won't, you'll just give up trying to fucking kind of debunk it because you're like, I just don't know. I don't want to go through the hassle. But like I said, they can see all the way into the observable side of the universe, other planets, other stars, other solar systems, other planets and their atmosphere, and suggest that, yeah, it might house lives, it might be water. This is what it looks like. Did you know that the Hubble telescope takes black and white photos? But we tend to believe that the Hubble telescope takes colorful pictures of the galaxies, the cosmos, but it doesn't. It takes black and white photos. And that's because we have to enhance that imagery. It's not joking. Go look it up for yourself. It's true. We enhance the imagery. We add color. We add detail to it to make it stand out and appealing, to make it look entertaining, enticing, to make it look attractive, sexy. All right? That's what we do. And the reason why, because guess what? color doesn't exist out into space. Outer space, there is no color. Here on Earth, we have atmosphere. We have air, we have oxygen, we have the color spectrum, which gives us here, because of the atmosphere where we live at, gives us that array to wear. Trust me, at nighttime, when it's night, it's dark as shit, right? No lights at all. It's pitch motherfucking black. Daytime comes, guess what? We see all the colors, because guess what? Light from here and our atmosphere make the colors as what it is. And people say, well, it makes everything. Yes, it's what it is. It just is. The color spectrum is what we have here. You know, if you go somewhere else, to another planet, if we never get there, which ain't gonna fucking happen, unless that planet has an atmosphere and the light is able to hit its color spectrum, you will probably not ever see any type of indication of light. But we're talking about all the way on the other side of observable universe and other galaxies, and they're claiming to know what it looks like and this and that. No, we make it what we think it is, what it should look like. Think about it. It's like little kids. What's the one thing kids are attracted to in the daycares? Is wonderful colors. It's attractive. It's awesome. But we tend to always go based on the unbelievable nonsense that we hear on a daily basis. And it's just absurd. Like, it's this.
The land of make-believe.
Yep, Tim. Little Timmy there. He's joined the land of make-believe. Because that's what he sees. But many people don't see it that way. They see fame fantasies, book deals, signings, making money, objectives that they need to get because they're trying to get theirs. Because what's the one thing that this world is fueled on and will continue to be fueled on forever and ever and ever? It's this.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling.
Ching, ching, gong, bling, bling. That's what it's all fueled on. Every little aspect of it. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you think. I don't care if you think, no, it's not true, man. You just haven't been smart. You didn't go to college. Yes, I did. I graduated. I graduated college. Okay. I did that. Studied this and that. Okay. So you'd be like, well, you didn't study physics. You didn't study science. So you don't know anything. Go, yeah, sure. Just because I didn't study science. How about this? How about when you want to question that because you want to base it's a fact. How about this? I take my middle finger and I hold my hand up and I turn it with the back hand of my hand looking at you and I curl my hands, but leaving that middle finger up. That's what I can tell you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Because trust me, you can't tell me what I believe. What I'm pointing out the obvious. Because like I said, everybody wants to go ahead and just believe in nonsense. Like, trust me, I told you, February started off hot and heavy with this, Chinese spy balloon, and it's unidentified objects, then it's getting shot down, then people not knowing what it is. And I said, well, I wonder what March is going to hold. March has got to hold something up because things are going to happen. They're going to need something. March has got to get back, and they're going to do it. And when I said, all of a sudden, we had that mothership. So they're starting the alien talk. They're starting the alien bid. They needed to go because guess what? The space program's not getting enough money to do whatever the hell is that they're doing. So they need money. And guess what? They're going to get the money from the people somehow. They got to. They have to. And what's the one most thing that people are enticed about? Shit that we're never ever going to see. And they're like, well, we need ideas like that in order to go do the things that we dream about. Yes, it's a fucking dream. Certain shit is obtainable. Other stuff, feign fantasy. All right? Literally, feign fantasy. Don't want to burst your bubble. Not trying to burst your bubble. But no one on this planet, if they expect to be in the Jetson stage, we're never going to see it. Maybe 100 million years from now, that might happen. But if you're thinking about it right around the corner, not happening. I'd rather believe in time travel at this point. Right? It's just what it is. So, telling you people, just don't be sold on the bullshit that you hear. It's a lot. It's a lot out there. Well, we've come to another end of Sunday Night Vibes here on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. And, yeah. Like I said, the Sunday Night Vibes is just a recap of the things that we talked about this past week on my podcast. And to get you ready for the upcoming week ahead. Hell, they're talking about motherships in the, solar system. Shit. And other space probes probably flying around. By the way, if space probes are flying around and alien spaceships are flying, looking down, how about the aliens do this? Okay? How about they go fucking find Bigfoot? How about that one? Go look for Bigfoot. See if his ass is real. But guess what? You won't. Yeah. And Bigfoot is elusive because he's still able to stay the hell out of fucking Dodge. So, if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow and like and subscribe me on my other social media platforms. You can follow me on my TikTok and YouTube channel at both labeled The Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. And if you miss any episodes, you follow us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.com. So we're the only show that rocks it from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica and you're listening to us, where's my fucking postcard? God damn it. So, you heard it here, live on the Coolest of the Cool, Cool Cool Show. Your host, Brent, on Sunday Night Vibes. Take care. Bye.